Hey, it's me, your boy Blue Getsuga, and today I'll be talking about. Wait, damn it. I'm going to be doing my Yu-Gi-Oh! Tier analysis, and I know I haven't done this in a long while, but here we go. First off, we're doing Galaxy Photons. Galaxy Photons, they're a deck from Zexal, and they're an Xyz based archetype, but they mostly revolve around their boss monster, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and I guess they're rank 8 Xyz monsters. For the pros, we have Master Rule 5, because you can basically toss out tons of your rank 8s as well as a few rank 4s if you want. You have great boss monsters, like I mentioned, the rank 8s as well as your Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, which can still get you out of a couple of pinches, even though its effect has been power crept like crazy. This deck can set up multiple negates because you can set up that one rank 8 that negates monster effects, and you can also set up Cyber Dragon Infinities for these, as well as I forgot what else, but there are multiple negates you can actually make with this deck. And you could also play generic rank 8s too. This deck can OTK because of Afterglow, and this deck has great spells and traps, and it is fairly consistent. I guess I should say this deck has good spells and traps. Now for the cons. This deck has poor recovery. It's a combo based deck, so of course it's like a glass cannon type of thing. This deck can brick because you do run a lot of high level monsters. I mean, the deck has more ways of unbricking itself now, but not like it did before. And it can't play through more than two negates, so I mean, that kind of goes with almost any deck that isn't meta. So that's all I gotta say about the Galaxy Eyes deck, or Galaxy Photon, since there's technically two Galaxy Eyes decks, the Tachyon deck and the Galaxy Photon deck. And next we have Shark, and I know this design looks kind of weak. Anyways, Sharks, I play this deck several times on my channel, and I actually really like this deck. It's arguably my favorite water deck, which I guess isn't really saying much since there's not that many water decks in the game, since all of them get overshadowed by Mermills, aka hand loop deck. For the pros, we have Master Rule 5, obviously, it's an Xyz based archetype. It has good boss monsters because their Xyz monsters are really great, especially with their new support. This deck can easily summon multiple Xyz monsters, and I mean easily. You can consistently get out to 2 to 3 Xyz monsters on your first or second turn. And this card, and not this card, but this deck works really well with Numerons, as seen in my duel videos, because you can easily just rank up with your Numeron force and negate cards on the field. So that's really fun. Also, this could also work with the Numeron field spell as well. The problem with this deck, it doesn't have strong searchers. Besides that one level 1 shark monster, which kinda sucks for the deck, this deck doesn't really have a searcher. Or at least a great searcher. Except for that one fish support card in the OCG, but that requires setup for you to search. And it can't play through multiple negations. Again, same. That's pretty self-explanatory. Sharks are a fun deck. They're a fun water deck. You can bring them to your locals, assuming your locals is even open. But you can bring them to your locals and you can have a ton of fun with it. Because I know I have had tons of fun playing this deck. And I look forward to actually playing this deck again and uploading it onto my channel. And next and lastly, we have Onomatapeias. I didn't want to split the Onomatopoeias because they all essentially do the same things, but they just have different ways of going about it. The goal of this deck is to actually, beat up, basically OTK your opponent with Utopia, or just spam rank 4s onto the field and overwhelm your opponent. So I'm not going to split them into Gagagas, Dododos, Zubabas, and Gogagos. Then Achachas got left out for some reason. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about all of that. I'm going to talk about onomatopoeias in general. Master Rule 5. Obviously, they have good boss monsters. They can spam Xyz monsters like no one's business. At first, I thought Heraldic Beast, at least years ago, I thought Heraldic Beast was the archetype that was really great at spamming Xyz monsters. But I've seen someone actually play an Onomatopoeia deck, and they were able to OTK me twice over because they were able to just spam the board with multiple Utopias as well as Gagaga Samurai. This deck can OTK and it has great search power, or I should say good search power. You have two main searchers in the deck. And the obvious problem, it can't play through more than two negates. So I'd give it a tier 2.5. Just because of that. Also, I forgot to mention the tier for these other two decks. I'd give Sharks a tier 3. And I'd give Galaxy Photons tier 2.5. They're really great, but I wouldn't say they're great enough to become tier 2 just yet. Anyways, it's me, your boy Blue Getsuga, and tell me what you think about these three archetypes. And yeah, that's pretty much it.